Hello, everyone. Please let me know if the MyFitnessPal screenshot is big enough for you to clearly see, because we are going to walk through some great pieces of key information that you need to have max success and max results when tracking your macros. First and foremost, make sure your MyFitnessPal is set up correctly. If you go to your More page, this is what you'll see. Drop down to diary or go to settings and then go to diary settings. The main thing I want to show you is make sure track net carbs is off. Off. Otherwise, you will be eating way more than you think you're eating. So please make sure that is turned off, okay? Also, make sure that you are not tracking your exercise or your steps, because that's just going to add calories to your food and you'll pretty easily pull yourself out of a deficit or change basically your macro goal, your macro target. So don't do those. Okay, beautiful. The next thing is go to your diary page. So at the bottom of the screen, you can see diary. This was my breakfast. And then at the top right above the calories, you can see the three dots. Excuse me. Make sure it's macronutrient focused. Game changer. Get the premium. I buy the year version. I have heard from, it was only one client, but she went on the desktop version and it was only $40 for the whole year, and then just logged in on the app and it was no issue. I haven't tested it myself, but I've told many of my other clients about it and haven't heard anything negative. So it's worth looking into, definitely. Okay, so make sure it's macro focused. Then you can see the macros at the top of your screen rather than your calories. Then you're having a flop back and forth between all these screens, right? Let's make it really easy for yourself, really efficient to use less time. The other thing I want to bring your attention to is make sure you can see your grams below the meal. If it's percentages, just tap it. So you can see under where it says breakfast, it's percentages, just tap it. Percentages give us no useful information, okay? It's better to understand how are your macros broken down for the day and how are your macros broken down per meal, because the more balanced and healthy your meals are, the better results you'll get and the better you'll feel, okay? A quick recommendation for how to break down your macros is whatever your macros are, divide them by 5 if you want to eat 5 times a day, or divide them by 3 if you want to eat 3 times a day, and then aim for that as a meal goal. If you have any questions, just comment them and I'll answer. Okay, great. This is the habit that is absolutely necessary for max results, and it's called pre-planning your macros. You should do this every single night for the following day or every single morning before you eat, okay? And so I saved it to do with you today. What this means is we're going to put in our entire day of macros and get into compliance to the best of our knowledge. If it changes as the day goes on, no problem. I'll share with you how to adapt, okay? All right, so I already ate breakfast. The first thing we should do with pre-planning is protein. I'm going to leave about 20 grams of protein left over just because other foods have protein as well. All right, so I am going to go to a coffee shop and eat lunch today. And I'm going to get their pear beet salad. What I'll do beforehand always is I look up the menu and then track it to the best of my ability, okay? I'm not going to do that now just for quickness of video. So I'm simply going to write in pear beet salad. The first thing I would do is check if that restaurant is actually in MyFitnessPal. It's great when it is, but not always the case. So we have all of these random options. It's like, how can we possibly know what the right option is? I am going to get chicken on the pear beet salad. I will track that separate. So we have 150 calories, 158, 240, but that one says with chicken, 60, 270, another 270, a 598, a 410, etc. To be honest, I would probably choose the 410. Yep. And I will explain to you my thought process. So at first I was going to choose the 270, but I'm like, man, that is pretty low for a restaurant or a coffee shop calories. I would say it's at least 600 calories total for pretty much anything you eat, unless it's specifically low carb. So I would probably do the 410. There's 27 grams of fat, and I think there's walnuts on this salad, so that's part of the fat, but also the dressing. So I'm going to do this one. The carbs is coming from the beets, the fruit, and then the greens, and then not much protein. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. I think that's a great estimate, and it's always better to overtrack than undertrack, always, okay? And then I'm going to add chicken to the salad. Restaurants, unless otherwise specified, just track 4 ounces, okay? They usually won't give you more because it's expensive. Great. So there's my lunch at the coffee shop. Okay. So I still have 75 grams of protein. So what am I going to have for dinner? Well, I have chicken thighs in the fridge that I grilled on the barbecue. And there we go. And this one, I chose this one, even though they're not from Whole Foods, because it's in grams. Okay. So usually with meat or your protein source, I would say track between 85 and 120 grams. If you track in ounces, that's totally fine as well. So 120. And then we have some corn on the cob. I don't normally weigh corn on the cob. I just do 1 ear. And then we have lots of zucchini and peppers. And I love vegetables, and I want to get in lots of vegetables today. So I'm going to do probably 100 grams of zucchini. And I have these snacking peppers that I cut up and are delicious. Here, let's go. Oh yeah, I think that's it. Okay, and then we're gonna go 100. So I'm having 200 grams of vegetables, which I would aim for 150 to 200 grams per serve, okay? The reason I say 500 grams of vegetables and 300 grams of fruit per day for most people is to make sure you have enough vitamins, minerals, and fiber for your day. It keeps your diet really well balanced. It keeps your body really healthy. Okay, beautiful. I still have more protein, which means I need to add a snack, right? Because I've already had breakfast. So now let's add some snacks. So let's see. I have my little Good Cultured cottage cheese, and they're single serve packs, which is amazing. That's 20 grams of protein right there, and I can take it in the car. I have this little lunchbox from Amazon. You stick right in the freezer. It fits in my purse. So that works out well. Okay, 26 grams of protein. Let's just stop there. Okay, the next thing after getting all your protein in is let's get our fruit and vegetables in, aiming for 500 grams of veg, 300 grams of fruit. So I already have 200 grams of veg, which is great. What else do I have? Well, to be honest, oh yeah, I have carrots. So let's do some carrots, baby carrots, which is great because I can take those on the go. And if I'm being completely, oh wait, and I have all the greens from my lettuce. Okay, so I'll only do 150. I was going to say, I'm just going to do 250 so I can just get my veggies in because I don't want to cook today, honestly, besides dinner. But I forgot. I have all the veggies from the salad. A little bit of fruit from the salad. Okay, great. So veggies should be good, over 500 grams, because I have 350 grams tracked for snack and dinner, and then I have a big fat salad for lunch. Beautiful. Okay. Now for my fruit. So I have about 100 grams for the banana. So I need 200 more grams of fruit. I could eat another banana, so the more sources of food you eat, the better, because a more variety of vitamins and minerals, right? So I do have frozen blueberries and frozen cherries. I'll go ahead and do frozen cherries. They're super good with honey on top. I'll just do 200, hit my fruit goal for the day. And I'm going to drizzle 8 to 10 grams of honey is pretty significant. So I'll probably drizzle 10 because I have the carbs available. Cool. All right. So beautiful. Now snacks, protein, fruit, veggies. So protein, fruit, veggie are taken care of. Now you just fill in the rest. Okay. So I do have more protein. I do have more fat. So let's see, I don't want any condiments for dinner. So that's something to think about. The other thing to think about is dessert. I don't think I have any chocolate in the house. Otherwise, I would put that with dinner. So what I will honestly do is I'm going to have a few more snacks. So I'm going to have some nuts, and actually, yeah, let's do mixed nuts, and I'll see what 25 grams will give me, because I know they have a lot of protein. So that completely exhausted my fat goal. So you know what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do 2 rice cakes because I have quite a bit of carb. And I'm going to put just a little bit of peanut butter on the rice cake. Here, let me do Justin's for ease of the video. It might be a different brand, but it's like I'm trying to hustle for you guys. But I'm so glad you're here learning about your nutrition, because this will change your life, truly. You'll be in so much control over your body. It's amazing. Okay, honestly, I'm going to add more honey on my rice cake and peanut butter because it's a natural source of sugar. I lift weights, so I'm like, I want the carbohydrate. Okay, so I still have 19 grams of protein. So you know what I'm going to do? Look at my dinner. I only have 29.6 grams for the whole dinner. I'm actually going to eat more chicken thigh. So I'm going to go 150, and that put me at 35. Okay, still in compliance. Now I still have lots of carbs left. So let's look at lunch. 42 grams of carb. I don't need any more there. Dinner, 37 grams of carb. Probably don't need any more there, but it depends when I lift. Breakfast, I could have had more. Okay, so that means let me just continue to add it in my snacks, and then I'll eat it throughout the day. So fruit is wonderful. So to be honest, I'll probably have another banana today. And I'm just going to put 120. It's just a standard size banana. And then I still have 29 left and 12 grams of protein. Sometimes you can leave this for changes to have a little bit more leeway. That's totally fine. But I want to show you how to get into full compliance, okay? So I'm going to have my significant other pick up some chocolate on the way home. And I'm going to do 30. It's a decent size portion of chocolate, 170 calories. I think about 150 is the serving size. Okay, but now I'm negative in my fat. So if I'm being honest, I'm going to probably just take off the peanut butter on top of the rice cakes, because I like honey on top rice cakes too. It's just a kind of a sweet treat snack. And now I have 1313, which is fabulous. So what has protein and carbohydrate? Oh, here's a great idea. So instead of rice cake and honey, sorry, I'm trying to multitask. Instead of rice cake and honey, I'm going to eat the caramel rice cake by itself. And then I'm going to eat, let's see, so I only have in ounces. I'm going to eat Greek yogurt with my honey instead. And I still have 9 grams of carbs. And so to be honest, I'm going to lower my cherries. I know I might be going fast for some of you, but give me just a sec, and then I'll re-explain the snacks, okay? Let's see where this puts me. Bam, compliance. First and foremost, what is compliance, right? For my clients at least, and I think a great rule to go by is negative or 2 to 5 grams over or under for each, okay? So is carbs within 2 to 5 grams over or under? Yes, it's over 5, right? Because I have negative, so I went over 5. I came in under 2 for fat, and I came in under 1 for protein. Don't worry about calories. Completely ignore them unless you're tracking alcohol, but obviously I'm not drinking alcohol, so you can completely ignore calories. So here's what I came up with my snacks for today. I'm going to eat cottage cheese. I'm going to have some carrots, probably both of those on the go in the car. I'm going to eat rice cakes as little snacks, kind of like chips-ish, but they're caramel. I'm going to eat, what's it called? Greek yogurt with honey on top. Maybe throw the banana in there. And then I'm going to eat cherries, and I'm going to eat blueberries, and I have a little bit of extra honey to drizzle. So I basically have a lot of fruit, some honey to drizzle on top, a bit of yogurt, and some caramel rice cake. So super great snack. And then for dinner, corn on the cob, chicken thighs, chocolate chips, and vegetables. And then for lunch, I'm going to a cafe and just having a chicken pear beet salad. Sweet. Okay, ladies, any questions? I know that was a lot of info. If you do this every day and get yourself into compliance, It will literally help you so much be successful, shed fat, gain muscle if you're lifting weights in a great way. And you'll know what you're feeding yourself, so you're eating more healthy too. Now, I want to quickly say, what if you're like, gosh, I'm just not in the mood for this for dinner? Just delete it all and then look at the macros you've saved for yourself. 56 carb, 21 fat, 37 protein, and then you can just refill in what you eat. Okay, cool. All right, so let me read this comment. I find estimating the calories for each food to be my biggest challenge. I'm afraid of underestimating. I hear this question all the time, all the time. What I personally have my ladies do is send me a picture of the menu, send me a picture of what you track, and then we talk through, right? You need to essentially have that practice and get that feedback. The other thing I will say is the more you track, the more you know what your stomach feels like, let's say after a 350 calorie meal. So if you go eat what you tracked as a 350 calorie meal and you're stuffed, you're like, man, I way under track that, right? But this is what I say, like when in doubt, over track. If you're going to a restaurant, usually it's over 1,000 calories unless you're making super smart choices, okay, or super smart food options, okay. But the biggest thing too is just practice. Just practice. If you're underestimating and you're gaining weight, you're like, gosh, I need to drop my macros. It might not be your macros, it might be that, but even if you drop your macros, it will like accommodate for the human error. So it will work itself out usually. I hope that makes sense. Okay, great, ladies. Have a wonderful day. Drop your biggest takeaway. I'd love to know like what was the biggest takeaway that you took from that? I hope it was super helpful. Okay, have a great day. Talk to you later.